Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, PvP Pirate Rumble Championship is upon us. And look, Free Spirit is everywhere, and rightfully so. It's become one of the best and everyone's favorite team to run in PvP. And in today's video, we're going to focus on countering Free Spirit. And this particular team that you guys see underneath me here was built by one of my alliance members, known as Snuffy. So huge shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the team build. I wanted to broadcast this because there is a lot of Free Spirit teams going around. There's a lot of different variations of them. And this particular team pretty much covers all of them. Obviously investment, and there's one team you guys will see at the back end of this video that did cause me a little bit of a problem. But this particular build does actually take down majority of what the Free Spirit team is trying to throw at us. So first of all, we have the stereotypical Free Spirit team here. We've got Odin, Roger, Luffy, Yamato. Obviously, Gear 5 comes into play. You can run Psy Free Spirit. But the way this team in particular operates, it is a cerebral Free Spirit kind of build. Now, I do understand Nami Karina is probably more of an exclusive and illustrious unit. For some people, they've only been on one banner, and a lot of people might have skipped that banner because Gear 5 was pretty much like yesterday. But if you do have Nami Karina, you're going to be in for a very, very good time because they are an absolute demon in Pirate Rumble. And a big reason I summoned for them because they are just so damn good across the board on a variety of different teams. In this particular team, they are so damn good. They are a rainbow booster. They boost everyone, but their special rolls back the oppositions and lowers defense, so that way characters like Doflamingo and Robin Koala can go absolutely ballistic. They just absolutely tear through the defense of the Free Spirit team. Stereotypically, the defense of Free Spirit and HP are very, very high. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of damage output. And they can just do a wonder of things. We are using a lot of Free Spirit characters ourselves. Obviously with Zoro, Luffy, Yamato, and then Robin Koala are actually a Free Spirit unit as well. So they're getting a lot of nice buffs from everyone on this particular team. The outlier here is actually Doflamingo. Doflamingo is a very interesting character to just throw on this team because he's actually a cerebral-driven unit. Now, he's not buffing anyone because he buffs Driven and Dex. He's buffing himself, and he is getting a little bit of a buff from Robin Koala as well as Nami Karina. He's not getting any buffs from Zoro. Luffy, Yamato, I think are more of a rainbow booster if I remember correctly. They do work better on a Free Spirit and a Striker team. But Doflamingo here is very nice because he starts with level 5 defense down to Free Spirit units. That way, when he does stuff like that, he can do a lot of damage output, put in a lot of work, and just absolutely tear through the back end of the fight, allowing Zoro's counters, Luffy, Yamato to go absolutely nuts, and then just sort of stalling out with Nami Karina, so that way you can sort of reduce the enemy's special charge, as well as reducing their defense as well. So as you guys see there, nice simple win for the first fight against a pretty solid Free Spirit team. Let's take a look at the next fight, where you might find Psy Free Spirit. Psy Free Spirit has been very, very good since the release of Gear 5. Gear 5 regular 6-star works perfectly on a Psy Free Spirit team, but the 6+ is an absolute weapon. He does so much damage with 5k fixed damage, and then a massive, like, I don't even know what the times multiplier it is, but it goes through defense to one singular unit. If that Gear 5 is level 150, it's like 12.5k to 13k damage, depending on investment if you have them rainbowed and stuff like that. So, Gear 5, he's a scary unit to go up against. On top of that, he has a revive to come back with 100% of his HP. So, taking on something like that can be a huge, huge scary aspect when you are running around in PvP. So just be very mindful of that. Be very, very careful because Gear 5 is an absolute weapon. But nevertheless, with the amount of nerfing that we can do to Free Spirits, we are in a pretty good spot actually taking them down. Robin Koala, man, they do so much damage to Free Spirit. Like, they just hit 6 separate times, and because of Doflamingo and Nami Karina lowering the defense, you just tear shreds. Like, we only had like 11 attack there or something like that. Well, no, we had much higher now. I think it was in one of the other fights, it was 11. Nevertheless, though, like, the amount of damage output they do, it's absolutely ridiculous. And they're an absolute asset when it comes to damage output on this particular team. Like I said, they buff Cerebral too, so they are buffing Doflamingo, then Dofi's kind of buffing himself. Dofi, if he goes at the back end, he just does absolute shreds. But Luffy, Yamato, they're an absolute weapon when it comes to damage too. Now, there is something you need to be very careful of when you're running around taking on Free Spirit, sorry. And that is Nami and Karina. Yes, we are using our own Nami Karina. However, you need to be very mindful that there are going to be other people using Nami Karina. And honestly, if you're sitting in that echelon of top 1,000, just skip Nami Karina. Don't run the RNG. they fall into an insane defensive unit, just like Zoros and Gear 5s, but mainly like Roger Whitebeards, where Roger White can just bink off 2 units. Nami Karina can change the fold of the game because of their ability to roll back the specials. 40% is a massive number. They roll specials back by 40% to 2 units twice. It's not okay, and when you get hit by that multiple times, it can completely screw up your run. It's actually cost me a match, which I'm going to show at the back end of this fight, because I do want to preface this particular team, this one right here. It's not foolproof. It's not going to beat every single Free Spirit team you come up against. However, if you do find Nami Karina without the support of something like Gear 5 Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Odin, all put together on one team, and you find them as a bit of an outlier with stuff like Luffy Yamato maybe instead of Gear 5, maybe they're not using Sanji, maybe they're not using Zoro, they're running something different, you can actually bink them off fairly nicely. But if you do have some strange combinations and you are fighting stuff like Zoro, Odin, and Nami Karina like we are right here, just be mindful, like the bind of Odin can really cuck you. The special reverse of Nami Karina is an absolute demon, and it can just absolutely destroy getting off particular specials, and can really throw back what you're trying to do in PvP. Now, if Luffy Yamato goes at the back end, you're going to be in for a really good time. You're going to be in a really good spot. But that Nami Karina ability to just roll back your specials over and over again can be very detrimental. So be very, very careful when you do find Nami Karina in a lineup. And like I said, if you're in that sort of top 1,000 echelons, probably best to just skip them, unless you're finding them like in these particular clips here, where they're not with all of their best support units. The thing with Nami Karina as well is they can just pop up on pretty much any team possible. Now, as you guys can see here, this particular team isn't using Zoro. That is like one of the key components that is just missing from the team. That when I see that, I'm kind of like, yeah, cool, I can go up against that. But like I said, investment is so prevalent within this game mode that like a 150 Gear 5 can change the game. Having a 150 Zoro can change the game because the amount of counters you get and the amount of damage output that man can do is absolutely insane. But with Nami Karina and the combination of something like Zoro, it works so damn well. So when I see Nami Karina and there is no Zoro in the lineup, it's the light bulb goes up and says, sweet, I can take this on. There's a character that now doesn't have a revive, which is very, very good. And seeing something like Luffy Yamato over something like Gear 5 is always a nice option too, because Gear 5's revive can be an absolute problem. So whilst Nami Karina are insanely powerful in PvP, and I would highly recommend avoiding them like I've been rambling on about, just be mindful if they don't have all the pieces of the puzzle or your investment is significantly higher than the opposition's, this particular team will definitely work. It's still very, very good against it. As you guys can see there, these are like Kid Law and their defense is quite low. Level 6 down defense for Gear 5 there. Like down, which is kind of nuts, seeing how much damage output we can just get with something like Robin Koala and Luffy Yamato. Like, finishing it off right on the 50, like just before the 50, or just before moving into the last 50 seconds. As I mentioned though, Nami Karina can just pop up anywhere, like any sort of Psy free spirit build, any just regular free spirit build. Nami Karina will find a place there. Cerebral teams, even like Nami Karina could definitely pop up. Rainbow teams, like striker teams with like Jack, Tesoro, and then Nami Karina just thrown on it just because, do absolute bits. And then this unit is going to pop up basically everywhere. So like I said, be mindful, be very careful when taking her on. Or them on, I should say, because they are just a fantastic unit. But hopefully you guys can build out this team, and if you guys see them in a Free Spirit lineup, doesn't use Zoro, doesn't use Gear 5, doesn't use like Odin and Sanji, and all of that Free Spirit craziness that the anniversary brought on top of Gear 5 6+, then you're going to be in a good spot, and you can pretty much take on Nami Karina here and there. If you did manage to summon Nami Karina, be very, very happy. I would highly recommend using them, but in defensive builds, you're probably going to find you're not going to get a lot of defensive wins, because not a lot of people are going to be utilizing Nami Karina or fighting against Nami Karina. So, just be mindful of that. Like, we just got absolutely destroyed by Odin's action bind there. I just sort of like glanced to the side there, forgot about this particular fight. That is a lot of action bind right there, and we actually still managed to get the win in this particular team. So, the bulkiness that we have, obviously, like, my investment is still pretty strong. My Zoro is level 150, Rainbow, Limit Break expanded. Doflamingo level 150, Limit Break expanded. But then as for the other three, like Robin Koala are only like level 105. Luffy Yamato, they don't have any final tap dupes, and Nami Karina, like they're just at base 99. So as you can see, like the damage output here is really, really good. But be mindful that investment definitely helps. The damage that we have is just so good against Free Spirit, man. Like, it's just so nice. And we got absolutely destroyed by Action Bind there. So, really, really good stuff for this team. I'm a big fan of it when fighting Free Spirit. However, like I said, investment, it can definitely be a problem. When you see something like a level 150 Gear 5 on top of all of those pieces of the puzzle put together into one big chunky Free Spirit sandwich, it's very, very hard to beat. And unfortunately, this is what I was talking about with this particular team. It's not foolproof. It will not beat every single Free Spirit team because this particular Free Spirit team right here is absolutely disgusting. In my opinion, this is the best team in the game. This team right here, it's absolutely feral. The amount of damage output you have with Gear 5, with Zoro's counters, the cooldowns with Sanji, the nerfing with, what's her name, with Nami, Karina, it's just absolutely wild. However, it's not the fastest team in the world. It's usually going to stall out fights rather than actually win them, but they have so much defense and so much tankiness, they can definitely take you to the back end of a fight and actually just finish you off. Right here is the big problem. My Zoro hadn't gone. And this is what cost us the fight, and Nami Karina was the catalyst for this. Because my Zoro hadn't gone, everyone else had. I had Zoro sitting there at a max special. So he copped a double special reverse. So Nami Karina not only have the ability to roll back 2 characters, but if the character that has the most is still one of the first characters they roll back, they roll them back again. So Zoro took it like 70-something% CT reduction. Brings him very close to the start again. And at this particular point, I just can't get Zoro special off. Zoro, unfortunately, gets stuck in a void when Nami Karina will just continuously roll back the special of Zoro towards the back 30 seconds, and Zoro hasn't been able to put up a counter. If Zoro had a counter up, obviously a lot of the damage output that we're going to be getting, and a lot of the damage this team has, comes from Zoro's counter. Opposition can put up their counter, and as you can see, Zoro's just picking off units just because I'm just doing regular attacks. Thanks to Nami Karina with their rollback as well, it can be an absolute problem. So, like I said, it's not a foolproof. I beat all Free Spirit teams. However, it is a very, very nice one, as you guys saw in the first 5 clips, to take on a variety and a majority of Free Spirit that is running around in the meta right now. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Let me know what team you guys are using against Free Spirit. Do you guys have any counters for Nami Karina? Do you guys have a way to beat this particular feral team down below? Please let me know. While you're down there, don't forget to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!